Hello, review your options. Today we are looking at a digital picture frame. You know, for years I kind of poo-pooed this idea because I'm still one of those people who actually tries to print my digital photos. These were kind of expensive and I didn't really want to spend the money on it. But recently we went on a family vacation, and among family members who went, we took something like 1,600 photos. I decided I didn't want to print all of those, but there was some gorgeous scenery and some really memorable events. So I wanted to actually have a way to display those. And so I found this digital picture frame on Amazon, and this one I like because unlike some of the older models, this one actually will play video, music, display regular photos. It has a calendar and a clock, and it is 1024 by 768 pixels. I really like that it does support video because we had just a few short video clips that we took on the vacation. That's really nice too. So with the audio format support, I guess that's kind of cool, obviously with your videos, but I don't know if you would want to use this to play other music, but I guess you could always put a slideshow together if you wanted to. This is an 8-inch frame that's sufficient for our purposes here, and this drive also supports USB and SD up to 32 gig. So that's kind of cool that it uses USB. The ones I had seen before used only SD. Let's crack this one open and see what we've got inside. We've got foam on top, and then in a nice little foam bed we've got the frame itself. So it's fairly simple here. So we've got what I assume is the remote sensor. Actually, that's probably here. Here on the side, this would be the right hand side when you're holding it. SD card, headphone jack, USB, mini USB cable spot, and the AC adapter spot. And then you've got volume control back here, right here, and here. And then your play and pause button in the middle, and then backward and forward buttons, your power button, and your menu button. Another kind of cool thing that I like about this one, it doesn't take up a lot of room on a shelf. This is your stand, so you basically slide it in here until it snugs into place. Ta-da! So that is pretty cool. It doesn't take up much room at all. It's a nice slim design. And here you've got your AC adapter, your remote control, which takes CR 2025 battery. It actually tells you on the outside, so you don't have to crack it open to see what kind of battery it takes, which is really nice. And then a USB cable. And of course, your manual. Now, the booklet does actually tell you the files that are supported. So it actually supports JPEGs, BMP, so bitmap, TIFFs, or PNG files. And audio formats that it supports are MP3s, WAVs, WMAs, APEs, FLACs, AAC, AMR, AIFF, MPC, WMV, and ASF. So quite a few audio formats. Video formats are AVI, MPEG, MP4, MKV, 3GP, ASF, FLV, and TS. And the USB connection is USB 2.0 or mini USB, which we looked at. So it's a 2.0, and it has 64 meg built-in memory. It will support a slideshow with background music. So if you do want to put background music to your slideshow, you can do that. It does auto playback in 1080p. And you can also apparently view pictures in thumbnail mode if you like. It has a built-in clock and calendar. And image display modes include slideshow, preview, zoom, and rotate. There you go. This is a nice quick setup guide. It tells you exactly what to do right away. Basically easy, transfer files to a drive, stick it in the thing, turn the frame on, and voila, it starts playing. So all the rest is just details about the frame, the buttons, and the buttons on the remote, and operating instructions. So we get into a bit more detail there, but there you go.
I took a couple shots with this little camera here, and then I took the SD card out. I actually required an adapter, so you can see there I've got the SD card in an adapter and just slid it right in. There were a couple things that I took shots of on this very desk here. Plugged it in. As soon as I plugged it in and had the SD card in, it turned on, started cycling through all these things. You can just snap pictures, plug it in, and your photos, and I assume videos. I didn't take any videos to put on this chip, so I haven't tested that. I did fiddle with the settings a little bit. So yeah, you push the little house button and it brings up this little menu here. And you can either pick the USB or the SD card. I guess it just searches right through. That's the photos right there. So it's highlighted on photo. And I can go up here. It's looking at the SD card. Okay, that's how you select. Up and down is how you select those. And then side to side is how you select these here. So photo brings up the menu of the photos. I guess just searches the card for anything that's a photo in the files that my wife listed off by reading the manual. And you can pick whichever photo you want to see and go. There we go. And you can bring that right up, and then I think it starts going through the slideshow. Oh, you gotta hit the play button, and then it'll go through the slideshow. There it goes. Right like that. I assume that, see, I have no music files. Yes. And no video files, so I can't do those. Calendar, you can push that button and it brings up a calendar if you need a calendar sitting up there. That is obviously not the current date. I have not set that. That, I think, was the firmware update the last time it was updated, so that's what it defaults to. So you can actually see the files and browse the files here. So Novotech photo, and then you can see the file names there. If you just want to browse what's on your chip, then here on the setting, you can look at all the different setups. Photo setup, date and time, video, music, system. Photo setup, it gives you options to either scale or full screen. That'll stretch your photos. I prefer having them at the correct aspect ratio, so I generally just have it on scale. Background music, I guess if you've got audio files on there, it'll play background music while you are playing with this. So you'll watch your photos and you'll hear the music at the same time. And then cycle mode, you've got sequence, random, repeat all. So it just cycles right through. Slide interval, so how often it flips through. 5 seconds, 15, 30, minute, 15 minutes. See, 5 seconds is kind of short for just sitting on a shelf. I would think 30 seconds to a minute would be more appropriate myself. But then effects. So they have those different effects. It's kind of like a PowerPoint, how you have like slide in or phase out. Okay, snake, partition, erase, louver, random line, grid, cross, spiral. So just little effects for when you change. Let's go back and look at date and time. Digital, calendar, or analog. So you can pick any of those. Clock on slideshow. It actually defaulted to on with date and time, just like that. So that popped up as soon as this thing turned on. I don't really like that effect on the screen. I guess it could be useful, especially if in an office setting or where you don't have another clock convenient. Then you've got size, and you can actually make it bigger if you need to use that, or smaller. You can make it smaller too, and you can move the position of it. Can't set the date here. You actually have to go set in the date, but you can do 12-hour or 24-hour clock, and apparently you can set an alarm. Video setup. Okay, so this is the same as the pictures, exactly the same, except all you've got is the cycle mode and display mode. So audio is just like that. And then the system setup, you've got language: English, French, German, Italian, Spanish, Portuguese. Those are the languages supported. Brightness, so you can, if the screen is not the right color, giving you not the right colors and such, you can adjust it here with the brightness, with the contrast, or the saturation. So you can get your colors to come out the way you want them to. You just have to adjust them right on there. Power on and auto boot time. It took me a while to figure out what these were. This lets you have it on during the day and off during the night, or vice versa. So you turn the power on and then you set your boot time. And so if that's on, then it will boot at 7 a.m. If you have this on, it'll shut off automatically at 7 p.m. And then you can have how it goes. So if you're in an office environment, you've got Monday to Friday. You can have it weekend, like if that's the only time you're home, weekend, every day, or once. Auto copy, I have no idea what that does. Motion sensor, I guess that's what this is right here. So if someone's in the room, it turns on automatically. And then reset defaults. And then you see that date and time that's very familiar that we've seen on here. That was the last time this thing updated from the factory. So those are all the settings. There's quite a bit you can do with this, with the videos and pictures. So this is going to be pretty neat, and I've never played with one of these before, but I'm enjoying it just with what I've shown you so far.